Hi everyone, I am Dipali Kulshresht working at Cloud Analogy as Senior Salesforce Consultant. I am very much active on various social media channels where you can follow me or can contact me directly. Here is my LinkedIn ID, my Gmail, my Twitter, my phone number, and my website. So, first of all, I would like to thank you everyone for attending today's webinar on formulas and validation rule. We have Rahul with us as a speaker for today, who is also part of Cloud Analogy family.
Thank you, Dipali. So, guys, let's move forward to today's topic, that is formulas and validations in Salesforce. So, the agenda for today's webinar is we're going to have a quick overview on formulas and cross-object formula field in Salesforce and how the values are evaluated from the formulas or expressions defined by us. In the same way, we are going to talk about validations and validation rule in Salesforce. We will understand how validation rule contains a formula or expressions that evaluates the data in one or more field in a record to meet the standards and return a value, true or false. Then we will dive deep into the topic and try to understand why formulas and validations are so integral part of the Salesforce. Then we will move on to the steps to create a formula field and the steps to create validation rule. And then after that step, we will do a hands-on practice on both the concepts with the help of some use cases. So guys, let me just give you a quick overview on formulas and validations. So what is basically a formula field? A formula field is a read-only field whose value is evaluated from the formula or expression defined by us. We can define formula field on both standard as well as custom objects. Anything in expression or formula will automatically update the value of the formula field. There are scenarios where many times we need to manipulate the values of the field stored in the Salesforce object by applying a few conditions or calculations. For example, we need to get the account number. We need to get the account number value linked to the contact object so that we can find the account number from the contact name. In such scenarios, we create formula field in addition to the existing fields in the object. So now, let us understand what is validation rule in Salesforce. Validation rule in Salesforce contains a formula or expression that evaluates the data in one or more fields in a record to meet the standards and return a value true or false. Validation rules display error message to the user when the condition is false. Now, based on this definition, we can say that validation rules verify that data entered by users in records meet the standard you specify before they can actually save it. Now let's talk about why we use formula field in Salesforce. Let's say you have got a bunch of data in your organization and the user need to have access and a good understanding of the data. This is the time when formula field put things into perspective for you. Let's consider a scenario where you need two numeric fields on a record and divide them to calculate percentage. Or let's say you want to take two datas and calculate the number of days between them. All of the above mentioned scenarios are possible with the help of formula fields. Now let us understand why we need validations. Why do we even need validations in Salesforce? What does validation do for us? Validations verify that the data entered by users are meeting the specified standards before the user saves it. A validation rule can also contain a formula or expression which will evaluate the data and return either true or false as a value. Validation rules induce error messages whenever the specified criteria are not met, and the user attempts to save the record. And through these validation rules, we can achieve data quality, because these datas are powerful and they support our business. We'll check out the steps to create formula field. We'll go to our org, click on this setup, and in the quick find box we're going to search object manager. We will click on object manager, and here we will get a list of all the objects available. So we will choose opportunity object. Yeah, it's right here. So in the opportunity object, you can see this left sidebar. In the left sidebar, we will choose field and relationships. When you click on fields and relationship, you'll get a list of all the fields available for opportunity. So here we'll click on new, and we'll check this formula field and click next. And here in the field label, type anything like my formula field or something, anything. Just mention the value. And here you have to choose the return type. Do you want your return type to be a checkbox, currency, date, a percent, a text, anything you would wish to choose, you can choose it. You can click next to reach the formula editor, and here you're in the formula editor page. The formula editor comes in two flavors, simple and advanced. Here you can see is the advanced one. So it's tempting to use the simple editor, but we always recommend using the advanced editor. Advanced doesn't mean more complicated, it means more tools for you to create powerful formulas. Here you can see an insert field. We click on advanced formulas. Here you're able to see an insert field here. So this button opens a menu that allows you to select fields to use in your formula insertion. So this menu automatically generates the accessible fields for you. Like you are in the opportunity object, you are at the opportunity object right now. So all the essential fields in the opportunity object will be visible to you. So that's how you can choose a field. This insert operator button opens a drop down list of the available mathematical and logical operators, and here the functions menu is where you view and insert formula functions. Functions are more complicated operations that are pre-implemented by Salesforce. Some functions can be used as is. For example, the today function returns the current date, while others require extra pieces of information called parameters. So, and many are there, many functions, whatever you wish to, you can choose. And for instance, length text function is available. For instance, you can find the length of the text you input as a parameter. Let me just find out. Yeah, here we're going to find the length text function. So if we click on this insert selected function, it will insert the formula for us. So this is the length text formula. So this is the check syntax button. Anything you type here, you can check syntax for errors or not. Means basically it is a compiler, compiles you for the errors that would have caused during the execution. So let me just check that. Let me take okay, I'll be taking an account name and take equal to and okay. Here you can see it triggered the error message that formula result is a data type boolean incompatible with the expected data type text. So this this is a number type and this is a text, so that's why they are incompatible. Here if we simply select opportunity, here it is opportunity name. So my formula field text, which is a text of text return type, is equal to name, just opportunity name. Simply if we just check syntax now, it won't return any error message. As you can see, this message is in green. So this is how you can check for error messages. In the description here you can type anything as you wish to just demonstrate, just to give a glimpse to the users about this formula field. In help test also you can write like this is a this is a formula field of text return type. That's how you can just simply do it and click next. And that's how you can just save your formula field. So your formula field should be visible here. My formula field, yeah, here you go. This is your formula field you just created. So guys, we'll move forward and here we'll consider some of the use cases and do some hands-on practice. So let me just take up our first use case, which is create a formula field on account object whose return type is a checkbox name match province. This checkbox will be checked whenever shipping province and billing province are same and unchecked whenever both are not same. So basically what this use case says is that we have to create a formula field on account object. Its return type will be a checkbox and its field name will be match province, and since it is a checkbox, so it will be checked whenever these two, shipping province and billing province, these two will be same. So shipping province and billing province are fields on account object. So whenever there is an account whose shipping province and billing province are same, values in these two fields are same, then the checkbox that we create, we will be creating match province will be checked, and whenever the values in shipping province and billing province, these two are different, this checkbox should not be checked. So this is basically what we need to create. So let's just move to our org and see how we can do it. In the Salesforce org, we need to go to account object and we need to create new field. We'll select formula here, click next, and here we arrive. The name of the field should be match province. So province, and since it's a checkbox, its return type is a checkbox. Then we click next, and now here's the main thing. We need to give suitable formula so that it will support our requirement. So our requirement says that there are two fields on account object, matching billing state and shipping state. So those two fields should be same in order to meet our requirement. So if those two fields are same, then our created field will be checked, and when those two fields are not same, so those the field that we are going to create won't be checked. So basically, to meet this requirement, we have to keep two things in mind, that these two fields, billing and shipping state, should both should be same. And secondly, that we need to keep in mind is that they shouldn't have a null value, or they shouldn't be empty, because anyways, if there is no value in the field, in the text field, then anyways they are same, right? So we need to take care of that. So first, let's just insert shipping state. So we can find shipping state over here. Okay, after that, so our first condition is to make shipping state equal to billing state. So we can either put equal to by typing, or we can just insert it by using this insert operator. So next field should be our billing state. Here it is. And now this becomes our first condition. So in order to get the second condition, what is the second condition? The second condition says that billing state and shipping state should not be blank. So to achieve that, first we have to select. Okay, we are selecting not operator, not logical function, and inside it we'll select is blank. So as you can see, is blank is asking for an expression. So inside this expression we are going to put our fields, which are shipping state and billing state. So this is our billing state, and let's just put an operator and operator, and just copy it down and paste it here, and at the end we'll just change it to shipping state. So as you can see, this not function, inside the not function there is an is blank function, and inside is blank the expression is billing state, and this is blank expression is for shipping state. So what this much code says that our billing state field and our shipping state field is not blank. So this was our second criteria to match our requirements, if you remember. So the second criteria, we got our second criteria, and this statement will match our first criteria, so we are good to go. Let's just check syntax for any errors. Okay, it says some error. I think I just forgot to mention an operator here. We will be needing an AND operator to support these two functions. These two are individual functionalities, so we need to put AND operator to make sure that both the statements are executed, and according to that we'll get our value. So let's just check syntax again. Here we go. There are no syntax error. So Now we can quickly give some help text. This is the formula field on account object. We'll click next, make it visible, next, and we'll click on save. So now here we can see it should be visible in our custom fields and relationship. Here it is, match province. This is the formula field we created. Now let's just quickly verify it. Let's create an account. I'll choose C as my account name. Okay, I forgot to give the values. So for example, okay, let me just show you if it appears or not. If the field appears, yeah, here it is, match province. This is our checkbox field, and as you can see, this lock verifies that it's a formula field. So let me just check it. So according to our requirement that we had was that the billing state and the shipping state, these two fields should be having same exact value in order to make the match province formula field checked. So we'll provide a value into it to start with. Anything we can put, ABCD, and okay, let me check for the first case. Let me just give value to billing state and not to the shipping state, and just check whether the field is unchecked. Yes, it is unchecked. It is unchecked because billing address and shipping address does not match. So let me just quickly add value to shipping state as well. We'll give the exact value. Okay, let me just give any value first. Let us just not match it. Yes, since it's not matching, it is not checked. Now we can just verify the case by making the fields same. So here you go. We just verified that the formula field we created is actually, we are able to verify the case now. The billing address and the shipping address are same, so it is getting checked. So as we saw, we were able to successfully create our first formula field. Let's just quickly move on to our second scenario, which says create a formula field on the contact object whose return type is a text field with name combined name. This text box will concatenate contact's last name and account name. So example, if Rahul is contact and CA is account, then combined name is equal to Rahul CA. So what basically this case says that on contact our object we need to create a formula field whose return type will be a text, and its name should be a combined name. The field's name should be combined name, and the functionality of this text formula field should be that it will concatenate the last name of the contact and the account where the contact exists. So if Rahul is contact and CA is the account, then the combined name field should have the value Rahul CA. So let's quickly move to contact object and create a field. We'll create a formula field. The use case says that the field name should be combined name. So we'll give it the name, and we will select the field return type which says text. So now we will just quickly recall our criteria for this use case. It says that this field will be having the value which will be equal to last name and the account name. Contact's last name will be concatenated with the account name. So combine name text equal to which field we should go for? We should choose contact's last name. So contact's last name is here, and contact last name we will insert the operator add with the account name. So this field we will choose as account name. So we got our criteria. So last name and account name will be the value of this combined name formula field. There are no errors, so we can move forward. As help text we can write the formula field on contact object. Click next. We're going to just quickly verify whether our created field exists or not. Yeah, here it is, combined name. So this is our formula field that we created. Now let's move to contact object and create a contact so that we can verify our scenario. So okay, so here it is. We create a contact with last name Rahul, and here we can see Rahul, and let's just okay, we can see the combined name is still Rahul because we don't have an account name at this point of time. So let me assign an account to this contact. Okay, CA is available, so we will just take CA and save the record. And now this combined name field should display Rahul CA. Here it is. This is Rahul is the contact name. It is concatenated with the account name. So we have achieved both the use cases for formula fields. So now you know formula fields are so easy and handy to create. So let us now move forward to our next section. So guys, in the next section I'm going to talk about steps to create validation rules. So let's just quickly move on to it. So in our org we'll click on setup. In the quick find search we will just write validation rules, and as you can see there are a couple of options regarding validation rules, one option each on every standard object. So first we have to choose on which object our validation rule will be based on. So let's say our validation rule will be based on account. So let's just click on this validation rule option, and here in this page when you land up there's an option called new. You click on that, and so in the rule name you can write any rule, like for just example I'll write rule 1. You can click on this checkbox to activate it or deactivate it. Description, anything you want you can write. And so in this field where we are right now, this will determine our criterias for validation rules. So this will have all the requirements that or the essentials of how we want our validation rule to be basically. So in the insert field we have our all fields regarding the object, like we chose account, so related accounts, there are all the objects available, so you can choose them and insert operator just like the formula field, right? So you have all the tools with you. You can just use it the way you want. All function categories, you have so many: date and time function, logical, math, text, everything. So check syntax, as you guys know, this is for error checking. Uh, then we move on. Validation rule also give us a tool to show or to throw an error message. So through this we can actually prompt the user that there is a validation rule running on this particular object, and it should satisfy this particular criteria. So anything we can mention in the criteria, we can mention on our error message, like for example, we want our account number should be of 2 digits, or anything the way you want. You can just write it, and here in the error location you can just choose any of the field. Top of the page will actually throw the error message on the top of the page, and the field, if you choose down the field, any field you want, then it will throw the error message on that particular field, and you just save it. So this is it. So let's just quickly move on to our use cases for validation rules, and let's see how to create one. So guys, we have two use cases for today, so we will just check on those. First use case says that validate that the opportunity amount is positive and not more than $10,000. Okay, and the second one says validate that okay, we'll just do it one by one. So first is validate that the opportunity amount is positive and not more than 10,000, right? So let's just quickly move on to our org and see how we can do this. So in our org, we'll just quickly type validation rules. Go to opportunities and click on the validation rules here. Click on new. Okay, so in the rule name we can write validation opportunity should not be more than 10,000, or should not be higher amount. Okay, so now in the formula field, in this field we are going to mention our requirements. So let's just quickly identify our requirements, what it was. The use case wants us to validate opportunity amount field, that it should be positive and it should not be more than $10,000. So okay, we'll react to that, we will react on that. So what should be our approach to that? First of all, the first criteria we should set is that amount should not be more than 10,000 rupees. So amount should not be more than 10,000 rupees, and the amount should not be less than 0, right? You should have an amount. So these are our two criteria. So we'll just choose OR condition. Okay, logical 1 and 2. So in this we can just insert a field that is amount. So we have amount right here, and then we can write amount less than 0, right? So I'll just segregate this for visibility purpose. Okay, so what should be our next condition? Our next condition says that amount should be greater than should not be greater than 10,000. So we choose amount and we provide a greater than sign this time, and we are going to type 10,000, right? So this is it. This is all we want. So let's just check our syntax. Okay, there are no errors, so fine. Let's trigger our error message. So what should be our error message? Our error message should be like Okay, we'll throw the error message on the field. We'll just save it. We are ready with our validation rules. Now let's just quickly verify it by creating an opportunity. So we can write a test. We'll select a close date, we'll select a stage, anything we want, and this is our amount. So let me just give a huge value and save it. Try to save it. Yep, we are getting this error message. That's what we wanted. Let me just give 10,001. Let me try to save it. Yes, it's still active. So let me just write 9999, 9,999. As you can see, our record got saved because it perfectly fit our criteria. So let's just move on to our next use case. Next use case says that validate that a custom field called delivery date is provided if an opportunity has advanced to the closed one or negotiation review stage. Okay, so in this use case we have to create a custom field called delivery date. Only then we can proceed. So in our org, we should just quickly move on to new fields or create new field. It should be a custom field. So the use case wants us to choose our custom field as date type, so we'll choose that accordingly. Okay, so we'll choose delivery date. Just make it visible for all users. So now when you click on opportunities, then you should be able to see a delivery date right here. As you can see, this field is visible now. So now let's just move to our use case, which says that this delivery date is provided if an opportunity has advanced to the closed one or negotiation review stage. So let's go to our validation rule for opportunities, and so in the rule name we can write delivery date is required when stage is higher. When stage is high, or we can just cut it into short. We can just simply write delivery date is mandatory. We will proceed. So now in this section we are going to point out our requirements. So let's just preview our requirement to start with. Our use case says that the custom field, which is delivery date, is a mandatory field when the stage has advanced to closed one or negotiation review stage. So if the stage is closed one or negotiation review, the delivery dates should be a mandatory field. So first of all, let me just put an OR symbol here, and in this we can use a sense those two are pick list value. The stage names are the pick list values. So we have to just means we have to mention, we have to deal with the pick list values. So there are specific functions where we can utilize I mean, there are some functions here which we can utilize to satisfy our criteria for pick list values. So we'll just see what are they. First, there is an ispickval function right here. We have to choose this, and as you can see, there are two expressions to it. One is the pick list field, and one is the text literal. So in the pick list field is the API name of the pick list field, which is stage. So, and this text literal will contain the exact value of from the pick list field, like whatever is present in the index. So in the pick list field we are going to choose stage. Sorry, insert field, and here we'll try to find stage. Here it is. You can see API name is stage name, and in the text literal we should copy the exact API name. So we'll just go to opportunities. So in the opportunities we'll just view fields to check the API name of the pick list values. So as you can see, API name is closed one. So we'll just simply copy it from here and paste it over here. So we'll have our value. We'll just surround it with double quotes. And in the second expression of OR, inside OR, we should mention our second stage name, that which is also in the criteria. So one was closed one and the other was negotiation review. So we should choose ispickval again. The list field is same, that is stage name. And then in the text literal we are going to choose negotiation review. And we'll surround it with double quotes. So now, let me just segregate it for the purpose of visibility. Yeah. So we have one more condition to satisfy, which is the delivery date field should be a mandatory field. So to satisfy that, we should use a function called isBlank, and here we should find the delivery date field. It's right here. So since this is a separate condition, so we have to put these two and this one. We have to segregate these two conditions and this with an AND operator. So let's surround it with an AND operator. Close the brackets. Let's just quickly check for any errors. We don't have any errors, right? So let's just give our error message. Error message, we can write it as delivery date is required whenever stage is high. So on the top of the field, I'll just go quickly save it. And now let me create one opportunity here. So we'll write down test. Okay. So if we select a stage as a negotiation or review, and we provide close date, so all the mandatory fields are provided with a value, and the stage we have selected is a negotiation review. Let's just see what happens. So it throws the error message. Data delivery date is required whenever stage is high. So okay, so let's just quickly check with any other apart from our required pick list values. So it got saved. So for negotiation and review, it's not saving, and for everything else it's saving. And let's just check for closed one as well. Yes, so for negotiation and review and closed one, for these two picklist values, it says the error message is thrown, and it wants us to provide an input on the delivery date field. So right now, if we just provide a value in the delivery date and see if it's saved or not, as you can see, it gets saved. So that means we have satisfied both the criterias. Uh, mm, means both the criterias for validation rules. So all the conditions are satisfied now, and it's perfectly running. So now let's just move on to our next section.
Hello. Actually, I'm new to Salesforce, so I'm facing some issues regarding validation rule in Salesforce. So I have got two questions for you, and I would really appreciate if you help me out on this. My first question to you is, I want to create a validation rule on account number that it will accept only numeric value if it is not blank. And my second question to you is, I want the account number field to accept exactly 6 digit if it is not blank. Thanks in advance.
First of all, thank you so much for asking this question. So basically, what you want is you want to create a validation rule on account number, which will accept only numeric values if it's not blank. And you also want your account number field that it should accept exactly six digits and not more or less. So I got your question. Let's just move on to Salesforce and just see how we can do it. So we'll go to setup and type validation rule for account. So we can write the rule name as validation rule on account. Now, uh, in this field, we want that our account number should accept only numeric values. So for that, we're going to select an OR function. And then we are going to search for is blank. Here we can provide our account number field. Now in our next expression, we will search for not function, and inside the brackets we are just going to put or insert another function which is number. So here we are going to insert our field account number. So this statement here will satisfy your first requirement, that it will accept only numeric values if it is not blank. So let's just check syntax. It's fine. And the error message we can write account number should be numeric. Top of the page, click on save. So you go to accounts and try to create an account. Write any name like test one. So in the account number field we'll write insert characters and see if it gets saved. So here is our validation rule. It says account number should be numeric. So if we provide numeric value, yes, we are able to save our record. Now moving on to your next question, which was that you wanted your account number field should accept only 6 digits. So we can just edit this rule itself because we can make changes over here. So here just one more condition will be needed, which is the length of the account number is equal to 6. So for that we'll just choose a length function. And choose account number field. So this operator will do the job. It should be 6. So let's So we don't have any errors now, and we can just add to this error message that account number should be numeric and must contain 6 digits. Okay, we can save our validation rule, and let me just quickly verify it. So we have our account number as a 3-digit number here. So let me try to save it. We are getting this error message, account number should be numeric and must contain 6 digits. So if we are giving 6 digits, so it should save now. So our record is getting saved. So that means we have satisfied all the criteria for this particular question. So with this we'll wrap up our session on formulas and validation rule, and I hope this session was useful to you. Thank you so much.